At noon, take a good look at this little girl. This is 6-year-old Sierra Warren. Milwaukee police are still searching for her this afternoon. She was last seen near the 600 block of South 68th Street. Then our Mary Jo Ola is live in the area. Police want everyone with information to call the Mary Jo. We have that number on the bottom of the screen. What else are we learning about Sierra?
Elise, I talked with Sierra's father, and he says it was yesterday afternoon when she was dropped off by her bus here at 67th and Main, not far from 68th Street, obviously. And when her sister came out here to pick her up like she normally does, she couldn't find her. Sierra's father says he has not slept since yesterday. Now take a look again. We're going to show her picture once more because we cannot share Sierra's picture enough. We're told Sierra is 4 feet and 5 inches tall. She has black hair and brown eyes. Police say she was last seen around 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, and she was wearing a pink jacket, gray t-shirt, gray pants, and gray shoes. Now, her father says the bus company said that when Sierra was dropped off, she ran up to someone and hugged them. So police believe Sierra may be with an adult she knows, but she is still considered critically missing.
If Sierra sees this, if it's not nobody that you know, at least, run. And if it's someone you know, tell them to call me so we at least know you're all right. That's all we need. That's all I need to know because you got a lot of people worried.
Now, again, if you have any information that can help police find Sierra right away, call them. Reporting live at 67th and Main, Mary Jo Ola, today's TMJ4.
Well, we hope she's found soon. Okay, thanks, Mary Jo. President Trump is spending the second day of his state visit to the UK focused on transatlantic diplomacy, holding meetings with outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May on tap, trade, security, and Britain's pained exit from the European Union. Anna Stewart is in London with the latest.
I am very pleased to welcome the President of the United States of America.
Day 2 of President Trump's state visit to the UK, dominated by political discussions.
It's the greatest alliance the world has ever known.
It is that unity of purpose that will preserve the deep-rooted ties between our people.
Trump attending meetings with outgoing Prime Minister Theresa May, which included a business roundtable and a bilateral meeting at May's residence. May and Trump discussing an array of topics, including foreign policy, security and trade, especially as the UK navigates its exit from the European Union.
I think we're going to have a great trade deal, yes. I think everything with a trade deal is on the table.
May is slated to step down as the leader of the Conservative Party on Friday.
I personally believe that it is in the best interests of the UK to leave the European Union with a deal. I believe there is a good deal on the table. Obviously, it will be for whoever succeeds me as Prime Minister to take this issue forward.
President Trump has voiced support for former Foreign Secretary Boris Johnson for the job, speaking to the Conservative lawmaker on the phone Tuesday, according to a British official.
I know Boris. I like him. I've liked him for a long time. I think he'd do a very good job.
Meanwhile, the largest anti-Trump demonstrations are expected Tuesday throughout the city.
Back here at home, the Salvation Army and the Milwaukee Brewers teaming up to feed children in our community. Right now, volunteers are preparing 1,200 sack lunches for children in 21 underserved neighborhoods on the north and south sides of town. Now, according to Feeding America, 578,480 people in Wisconsin are struggling with hunger. 290 people who are struggling are children. That means 1 in 6 children are hungry. Numbers from the Hunger Task Force also show nearly 43% of children in Milwaukee County receive food share. 86% of Milwaukee's public school students were determined to be economically disadvantaged. Last year, the Salvation Army served more than 54,000 meals throughout the summer program, helping more than 1,000 kids each day. Major Tim Meyer with the Salvation Army says these summer meals can sometimes be the only way the children eat a meal.
Most of the locations we go to, we see the same kids day after day. And many of them report that they take the food home and they share it with other family members as well. So we know that there is a need there, and we know that it's profound.
So heartbreaking. The annual Feed the Kids is going on right now until 1 at Miller Park. Volunteers are then expected to prepare about 1,500 lunches per day throughout the summer. Tomorrow, Alderman Cavalier Johnson will host a grill out fundraiser in honor of Officer Charles Irvine Jr. It runs from noon until 4 at the District 4 police station. Proceeds go toward a plaque with Irvine's name on it. The plaque will be installed on the bridge at 76th and Silver Spring, the place where Irvine died pursuing a reckless driver nearly a year ago. People turned out to see the new plans for the revamped Bayshore Town Center. The open house was held last night and people got a chance to see what's in store. Tens of millions of dollars will be poured into the development over the next 2 years. The indoor part of the mall and the former Boston store will be torn down to make way for more apartments, a hotel, and restaurants. Developers say they listened to what people wanted.
What are the people telling us they want to see here? It's experiential. It's a place where they can come as a community to enjoy each other and gather around food and beverage, around shopping.
The vision that I've seen, all of the descriptions that I've heard about are really going to be a shot in the arm for this area. I'm really excited.
Now, current mall tenants that will be staying are currently in the process of moving to the open storefronts on the outside of the mall. While they couldn't tell us who is staying, going, or any of the new stores, the redevelopment is expected to be completed by the fall of 2020. Just in time for Wisconsin Bike Week, an open house will be held today for people to learn about Milwaukee's Bubbler Bike Share expansion project. The city is expanding the program by 26 stations and adding around 250 bikes. The open house is from 4 to 7 p.m. at the Martin Luther King Library Community Room on Locust. Think of a person who inspires you and nominate them for a Positively Milwaukee Award. We're sharing some of our favorite moments from last year's awards ceremony. Eva Welch and Shelley Saracen won our Inspiration of the Year Award for their work as Milwaukee Street Angels. It's a group that reaches out to help the city's homeless population.
Tonight's Positively Milwaukee Inspiration of the Year goes to Eva Welch and Shelley Saracen. Milwaukee Street
Congratulations! You know, every penny that we get goes back to the streets, so it means the world to us. We don't have funding. The community funds us, so this $4,000 is going to go a long ways. It's a lot of socks. A lot of socks.
And it'll help us get another bus so we can serve more people and reach others who are just needing that helping hand to get back on their own feet. So thank you so much.
Such a great organization. Well, it's time for you to nominate your hero, and it's easy to do. Just go to tmj4.com/awards. The winners will receive $1,000 for the charity of their choice. Up next, some folks in our area are seeing showers this afternoon. Let's take a live look outside. Looks not the greatest. Meteorologist Jesse Ricca is back to time out your afternoon commute in the Storm Team forecast.
You're watching today's TMJ4 with Elise Preston and Storm Team 4 meteorologist Brian Nisnansky.
Well, a lot of folks watching the radar, especially you, Jesse, because it's busy today.
Yeah, busy. And then it's not going to be as busy throughout the afternoon. So
okay.
Things is going to be one little round moving on through. That's what we've got on the radar right now. You can see across Walworth County on Storm 4 Max. A little thunderstorm activity just south of Darien, heading toward the Walworth area. Lake Geneva also getting some of that rain as well. Up to the north, a little bit lighter stuff near Palmyra as well as in Whitewater. And for Axington as well as in Koshkonong, you're seeing some of that light rain. Not so much in Milwaukee County just yet, but notice the skies are getting a little darker. That's the light you can see out over the horizon, but 66 right now in Milwaukee, 61 in Shorewood. Southwesterly wind, that is what's pumping up the warm air. That's also what's pumping up some moisture. A little humid out there at the moment. Notice the chance for rain. It's going to be relatively scattered throughout the noon hour, and after about 2 o'clock, I think we're going to start to watch that chance diminish. During the dinner hour, you can do some grilling, but look what happens overnight. That chance for rain is going to start to spike again again between about midnight and 6 a.m. I think about 3 o'clock in the morning is when we're going to be waking up to a little bit of thunder activity. A good chunk of your Wednesday then stays dry, but there is a slight chance of a few spotty showers by Wednesday afternoon with a cold front passing through. Right now, though, warm front is trying to make its way across the area. 71 in Sheboygan with that southwesterly wind, seeing a little bit more sunshine, so those temperatures are warmer up to the north. 60 in Burlington as well as in Whitewater, where we've got some rain cooling going on. But that southwesterly wind, that is going to prevail today. A little bit on the breezy side, so we'll see a breezy and almost slightly humid afternoon. Dew points are higher than yesterday. Yesterday, those dew points are the amount of moisture in the air. That was only in the 30s. It was very dry air, and now we've got the dew points ticking up close to 60 degrees in some places, with again that warm front bringing those showers and a few rumbles of thunder. This is not the main event. The main event comes late tonight. That's what's developing across Minnesota right now. You can see a few severe thunderstorm warnings with that line that is pushing through. That's going to make its way across the state overnight tonight. So let's time that out for you. Again, this afternoon, we are drying out. It's going to be breezy. Temperatures responding into the 70s with some sunshine that will sneak on in there by about 6 o'clock. But notice those storms up in Minneapolis, those are going to make their way into almost a bow or a line of thunderstorms right around midnight tonight. That will stay up to our north and to our west. By midnight, though, it's going to start to enter our neck of the woods. 2:30, 2 o'clock in the morning, heavy reds across southeastern Wisconsin. Those are some good downpours. Could see some intense winds with this, as well as some downpours and lightning. Then we get into your Wednesday morning. I think the morning commute is actually going to be dry. This storm system will be through there by that point. By the afternoon, temperatures again in the 70s, flirting with 80 degrees. The cold front's going to start to swing on through, and that will bring a secondary round of a few showers. But of course, the main event is overnight tonight. Then temperatures get a little bit cooler as we head into your Thursday, but a lot more sunshine ahead. Severe thunderstorm chances again outlined, especially up to our north and to our west, but we are under a slight risk for that mainly overnight tonight and into early tomorrow morning. 78 degrees then on your Wednesday. Thursday, we're drying out, a little cooler though behind that cold front with sunshine. 67 Milwaukee, 70s inland for Friday. Another dry and sunny day with 70s pretty much everywhere. Saturday, we're keeping dry until the overnight hours. That's our next chance of rain that will continue into your Sunday. But overall, a lot more 70s on that 7-day forecast. We'll be right back after this.
We're a little less than 2 weeks away from Polish Fest, and along with the traditional food and activities you find at the festival, there's an important mission you can be a part of, the Capuchin Walk for the Hungry. And joining us this afternoon to talk about the event is Usinger's president, Fritz Usinger, as well as brother Robert Watipka and brother Robert Romer from the Capuchin Community Services. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you, Elise. Appreciate that.
So this walk is next week. What can folks expect when they head on out?
It's a walk for the hungry, so it's going to be on Polish Fest ground. It's a 2-mile walk and then a free admittance to Polish Fest for the whole weekend. So.
And why is this walk so important to not only all of Milwaukee, but your organization in particular?
This is the main fundraiser for Capuchin Community Services. This event supports the ministry and mission at the House of Peace at 1702 Walnut Street and the St. Ben's Community Meal at 930 West State Street, and has for many years.
This is the 14th year you're doing the walk. You've been able to donate over 30,000 pounds of food.
Right.
Why is that so important to you?
Well, because we're part of the Milwaukee community. We're a downtown business, and we support the St. Ben's feeding program and the House of Peace. So every participant that is in the walk, we donate 1 pound of product to St. Ben's and House of Peace.
We just shared earlier in the show that hundreds of thousands of people all over the state of Wisconsin are going hungry. When you hear that, I mean, it's heartbreaking. How does it make you feel to know that people in our community don't have food on a day-to-day basis?
Capuchin Community Services helps me live the wisdom that says if I'm not part of the solution, I'm part of the problem. So our volunteers are part of the solution. Our donors are part of the solution, our staff are part of the solution, and anyone who participates in the walk on June 14th, they can say, I am part of the solution to solve hunger and homelessness in Wisconsin.
And for people who can't participate in the walk on June 14th, they can always be a part of the solution. How do they do that?
We have a robust volunteer community that supports our 2 sites, and we welcome donations all year round for an all year round ministry.
Well, thank you all so much. Did you have something else
I just
to
say
add?
they can drop off food or whatever at either site. We always need it.
Well, thank you all so much for joining us. We have all that information on the walk for the hungry at our website. Just head to tmj4.com. We're back after the break. Attention fitness trackers, you may not need to reach the typical 10,000 step goal each day to get a health boost. A new study published in the Journal of the American Medical Association of Internal Medicine found older women who average 4,400 steps a day had a 41% lower risk of death compared to women who averaged 2,700 steps. The benefits of walking more leveled off at 7,500 steps. Want to live longer? A new study suggests the key to doing so could be as simple as picking up the pace when you walk. Pete Zervakis spoke with an orthopedic surgeon about those groundbreaking numbers.
People who walk are generally healthier.
That's not a new notion, but a study in the Journal of Mayo Clinic Proceedings says brisk walkers are expected to live longer. Life expectancies of about 87 years in women and 86 years in men. Orthopedic surgeon Patrick Yost thinks that's in part because regular, moderate physical activity, like a fast walk, protects your bones and joints.
People who are less and less active, which can happen when joints hurt, they lose their ability to move. So it's important that even if you have early arthritis, that you keep moving and keep exercising.
Study participants who called themselves slow walkers had much lower life expectancies. The change was starkest in people who are underweight. Just 72 years in women and about 65 years in men. Although Yost says that could be due to self-reported slow walkers having other health problems.
Think about someone who actually says, no, I walk slowly. Well, that person might have a chronic disease. They might be frail.
Dr. Yost recommends 20 to 30 minutes a day of brisk walking to keep you physically healthier. He says studies also show that regular exercise will also make you less likely to develop a mental illness. Pete Zervakis, today's TMJ4.
Live at 12:30 is up next, including disaster relief. The amount Congress has finally approved to help those impacted by devastating weather after months of delay. Also, winning streak over. How much the reigning Jeopardy champ is going home with after being knocked off the throne.
Right now, from Milwaukee, this is today's TMJ4 live at 12:30.
Now at 12:30, we're seeing some showers in parts of our viewing area this afternoon. It could get a little more severe later tonight with some rumbles of thunder. Now, for the most part, however, everything is still. Let's go ahead and check in with Storm Team 4 meteorologist Jesse Ricka.
The main event is overnight tonight.
Okay.
So we are under a slight risk for strong to severe storms, but that really isn't until well after midnight.
Okay.
I think, our neck of the woods. But yes, right now we've got a little rain action. All the thunder is basically exhausted from those storms down in Walworth County. They've now just become scattered showers. You can see a little of that moving into portions of Racine, Kenosha County, heading toward the Yorkville area. Waterford just got a little light rain. Rosewood also seeing some of that. Up through Waukesha, you'll be able to see a little bit of light sprinkle action. A lot of these have been losing their steam, losing their intensity as they continue to move to the east. But Whitewater, yeah, you've been seeing rain for a little bit at this moment. And of course, where there is rain, slightly cooler air. 59 at the moment in Burlington. Contrast that with 68 in West Bend, 71 right now in Sheboygan. You've seen the sunshine a little bit longer. Here in Milwaukee, cloud cover, 66 degrees. If you're heading to Chill on the Hill this evening, it is the first night for that. Don't worry, don't cancel your plans. I think you should just bring a tarp to put underneath your blanket as you're going to enjoy the music. Temperatures are going to rebound to the 70s by the afternoon with that breezy southwesterly wind, and then late overnight tonight. Again, this rain that's going on at this moment is going to be out of here by about 2-3 o'clock. Then we'll see some sunshine overnight tonight is when we're expecting the heavier downpours. Even at 10 o'clock, we're still dry. Here comes that line of showers and thunderstorms. I'll track this through southeastern Wisconsin and tell you what the main threats for us would potentially be with severe weather coming up in a few minutes, Elise.
All right, thanks, Jess. We'll check back in a bit. Historically high flooding after days of torrential rain in parts of the country. Thousands of homes have water up to the roof, and in some communities, the best way to get around it is by boat. Gabe Gutierrez is in hard-hit Pine Bluff, Arkansas, with more on the devastation.
More rain is forecast for flood-ravaged communities as rivers swell to new heights.
Did you ever think it would get this bad?
Oh, no. No, I never thought it would ever do this.
Ricky Hayes is trying to salvage his truck. The water has already claimed his house.
It's sickening. You know, you're losing You know, not everything, but you're losing a lot.
Here in Pine Bluff, Arkansas, evacuation orders are in effect.
This neighborhood is devastated. Several dozen homes are underwater, and the river isn't expected to crest here until Wednesday.
A lot of people did have time to get a lot of their belongings out, but nobody realized it was going to be this significant.
It's been a slow motion disaster.
It has. I mean, just every day we watch it rise afoot.
It's been a devastating year. Midwestern rivers have flooded several times since March, causing billions of dollars in damage to farmland, homes, and businesses. In Grafton, Illinois today, volunteers are fighting to hold back the Mississippi River.
This is now our second most severe flood on record.
The town has battled floodwaters for weeks.
They're canceling one by one, you know.
Allison Rowan runs a bed and breakfast and says her business is down 80%.
I just can't imagine that it's not just going to get worse. I hate to say it, but when it does finally peak, I hope it goes down fast for a lot of people's sake.
Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News.
Meanwhile, a $19 billion disaster relief bill is on its way to the White House for the president's signature. The measure cleared the Senate last month, but has been blocked 3 times in the House. It finally passed Monday by a vote of 354 to 58. The bill will help communities around the country that have been devastated by hurricanes, floods, tornadoes, and wildfires. It also includes about $900 million in support for Puerto Rico. The battle between Planned Parenthood and the state of Missouri returns to court today. Planned Parenthood is trying to keep the state's last abortion clinic open. A St. Louis judge will hear arguments today over whether doctors can be forced to testify. The state wants them to answer questions amid a legal fight over the clinic's license. All this comes as lawmakers in many conservative states are passing new restrictions on abortions. The U.S. government preparing to investigate the country's largest tech companies, including Amazon, Apple, Facebook, and Google. They want to find out if these companies abuse their massive market powers. The Federal Trade Commission and the Justice Department will divvy up the companies. Justice will look into Apple and Google. The FTC will take Facebook and Amazon. James Holzhauer's winning streak on Jeopardy is now over. He lost on Monday's show to a Chicago librarian. Holzhauer won 32 straight games and pulled in more than $2.4 million. Ken Jennings tweeted his respect for the champ after the loss. Now, Jennings still holds the longest winning streak with 74 straight wins. Up next, we talk with an MPS graduate that is trying to break a stigma many students in the area face. Taking a look at the market right now, green across the board, Dow up 455 points, NASDAQ up 165 points, and the S&P 500 up 49 points. Milwaukee teens who just graduated high school will soon be on their way to the next chapter of their lives, with many going out of state. And recent Reagan High School grad Eric Torres Gonzalez, who was recently accepted to Harvard, joins us now to talk about his future plans and fighting a stigma while doing so. So thanks for coming in and congratulations.
Oh, thank you for having me. Thank you.
So you head off in August to study. You're still up in the air between pre-med and pre-law.
Yeah.
But the biggest thing is you want to help people. Why?
Well, growing up, I've noticed a lot of adversities in my community, not just poverty, but a lot of immigration issues, worker issues, and student issues. And I just know that there's a lot of hurdles for a bunch of students and a bunch of people in my community that I know with my help and with other people's help, we can really get pushed past those barriers.
And we were talking before, while we were in commercial, that just you heading off to Harvard has already helped people face those hurdles saying, I want to go to Ivy League schools. Why is that so important?
Well, because there's always this stigma that a lot of people who get into Harvard are these rich or very resource people, resource students. And, grades, that's one thing, but really showing that you have the passion and you have the ability to do many other things, not just be academically strong. That's something that a lot of urban communities don't know of, especially minority students who just think that, just graduated high school and we'll see what the next step is. But they have the passion, they have the ability to be able to get into these Ivy Leagues or top 10 schools.
You're one of 3 students from MPS going off to Harvard. Another one of your Reagan classmates is going. But a lot of folks, since you've graduated, have come up to you and said, I'm going to apply now.
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
Well, it makes me feel nervous, but also very proud that I can become a role model, because that's something I've been wanting to do. I've been wanting a role model in my life, and once I got one in high school, Miss Paris Beckley from the Boys and Girls Club, she really pushed me to go past my ability of what I can do. And now that I can become that role model to other students, and I can see other students like achieve maybe more than what I'm doing now, it's something that really makes me warm inside.
And you were telling me your mother did not have the opportunity to graduate from high school.
Yeah.
What does she say about you going off to college, you graduating, you going off to college, you being accepted to Harvard? She's got to be so proud of you.
Oh yeah, she was really proud of me. She was proud of me just for graduating high school, and now that